Butterflies fill my spine, I feel myself getting hot again. Nerves rushing through my brain, yeah, they can't hear fire from the trees. You're standing by his side, red drops burning down your face. Getting real close now, baby. Holy fuck, I feel it with you. I lose self-control. Now I found that you're not one to hear me now. You got me on my knees begging for your lady. And like a fool to stand around and let you blame me. And I'm riding in the sky to the heavens like an
Hi, my name is Leo Connors and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got two special guests, professional wrestlers, the anti-hero Chaz Marinelli, Little Daddy Bravo of The Brand. Guys, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
Man, I appreciate it, really. So listen, let's get right into it, guys. How did you guys meet?
So I had known this kid, Jamie Tucker,
Yeah.
and we did backyard together.
Yeah,
It
everyone
happens.
does it, man.
I don't
Don't
care
worry
what
about
any
it.
professional says. You did it. Whether you did it in your bedroom, you did it in your living room,
Yeah.
your parents hit you for it, you did it. I don't care. So we got into it. He had met a guy named Jay Frost that was working with him at the time back in like 2013.
Okay.
And he had asked Jamie to come in to do the show and bring a couple guys. The couple guys were me and Jason Medeiros.
Okay.
And we got thrown into a triple threat together. And that's how I met Kevin.
Nice.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I didn't think from the get-go, I didn't think we would mesh as friends. You know what I mean?
We
But
didn't even
did.
talk for like a couple years. Like, we talked, but it was like, oh, you're like my boss right now, so I don't really. And then it just turned into more of a friendship after a while, and then,
That's cool. At least it didn't happen like right away.
Yeah.
Usually that's kind of different than most. You know what I mean? Usually they hit it off right away. All right. Why don't you tell us all about the brand, guys? Like, how did it start? You know?
So the brand started out as an idea of, because like at the time, me and Jamie Tucker were kind of rivals.
Okay.
And we had like a chip on our shoulders. We were the type of guys that people didn't necessarily think that we could do the things that we would eventually go on to do. And we were thrown into a strange bedfellows tournament. We were never supposed to be a team, but we ended up having chemistry. We ended up clicking like crazy. So so after a while, you know, me and Jamie were kind of like, you know, this is working. The fans like it.
Right.
You know, it's different because he was doing a completely different gimmick. I was doing a completely different gimmick. And from that point on, we were like, let's just roll with it. Right. And we had ideas for him to eventually join in.
I was taking some time off for some personal reasons. So I was, at the time, I think it was 2018 we started that. You guys had started it on my way out.
Yeah.
I had done it for 5 years just straight. Like I was doing it in high school.
Wow.
So it was just high school. It was my senior year of high school that I got in ring. So it was like high school, work, all that crazy senior stuff, and then wrestle. But then after that, when I found myself, it was wrestle, work, figure out my life. Wrestle, work, figure out my life, just like everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
By the time I got to 2018, I was kind of burning out.
Yeah.
I was getting out of my fuel, and it was like, I think it was August. Yeah, it was Extreme Retribution.
Yeah,
it was August of 2018, and that was my last match until 2019.
Yeah. So then eventually, so me and Jamie at the time, you know, we're winning tag team titles between the companies because we used to run out of a place called Chop Shop out in Pawtucket.
Yep. Is that T Phoenix?
T Phoenix.
Yeah.
So we were running out of there, and we were winning the tag titles out of multiple promotions that ran out of there, and eventually we were coming up on the time where he was going to join because we were in a feud with another faction.
Yeah.
So we kept him as a surprise. He came back in 2019 as a surprise.
Right.
And from then on, we were just, a trios. We were alternating.
Yeah.
Run rampant on promotions everywhere.
Right.
So we were doing the thing.
Now, did you guys have like the Freebird rule too? Like, if you had belts, could all
So
like
we did once with
Yeah.
the set of titles, but honestly, I personally don't like that.
okay,
I want to feel like I've earned it.
Right.
I don't want to feel like I get it, like it's the team, it's a tag team thing, but to me, those two guys earned it.
right,
So why am I holding it?
that's cool.
The next time around.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if did you like the Freebird thing?
I'm indifferent to it. You know what I mean? It's if it works, it works.
Yeah.
Because things happen. You know what I mean? People get injured and stuff. Like
Right.
It helps out in that aspect. But I mean, you're as much a part of the team as James.
Yeah, but I like to feel like
Right.
it's these two going in the match.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're gonna win. Boom. Okay. Now, all right. I'm the one who actually won this belt. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
But yeah, I mean, from then on, we went into the pandemic era, and me and him kept going with the brand.
Yeah.
We kept running. We wrestled in New York. We wrestled all up and down New England's East Coast, up in
Nice.
Maine. I went over to Canada because he had an injury back a year ago.
23.
Yeah. So, but he's been there the entire time by my side. Likewise, you know what I
Yep.
mean. So he's done the drives with me, and
Nice. Oh,
yeah.
Now, Jamie's no longer part of the brand,
So there was.
or is he still, but just not active?
So, yes and no. I wouldn't say he's a part of the brand, but I wouldn't say he's disbranded from it.
Okay.
If he ever wants to come back, he is more than welcome to.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I am happy to see what happened with him after he had left us.
Right.
Honestly, if he needed to go, he needed to do his own thing.
Right.
It was his time to move on,
Yeah.
and I get it. I get
Right.
it. Did it sting me at first? Of course. It was my best friend. We grew up into
Right.
the industry together. But it was also freeing to be like, that's my brother. He's moving on.
And
He's doing his thing.
He's doing really good too.
So
He really is.
He did.
So-
No, he killed it. He
Yeah.
killed it further
No doubt.
than I ever could. And I personally think he's better than me, personally. And he had some great mentors along the way.
Right.
And he's just a phenomenal kid.
Yeah, nice, excellent. All right. So where have you been teaming right now?
So we just debuted at Tetsu.
Yeah. And that was yesterday.
was,
May 24th.
Okay.
24th,
Yeah,
yep.
May 24th.
Yesterday we wrestled at TCW. We've teamed there before, but since his injury, he came back. We've had 2 matches there.
Right.
We did a title defense
In August.
in August, and then we did a rematch yesterday for
Right.
in a ladder
Tag
match.
titles, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as
As you
like,
could tell on his face, he's feeling it.
Yeah, he's got a shiner, guys. Take a good look.
but as far as like recently, that's where we've been. But we are going to be making our way to TIW, Truly Independent Wrestling.
Right.
And we're starting to gain momentum again, like we were back before his injury. So it's gonna be
Nice.
good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, let's get right into the fan questions.
Of course.
Guest that was here just last week, Freight Train, Matthew McGee. How did you two become a team? Well, you kind of just,
Yeah,
you kind of just,
kinda just told
said
you.
it. Yeah, exactly. No, but
So if I'm being honest,
yeah.
before he was part of the brand, we've been a team in multiple incarnations. Like we've been in multiple different teams.
Okay.
The first time he joined up with me was when my actual tag team partner had gotten hurt, and he joined into the group. This is back 2016. 2016,
Society
right?
X,
2015.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
2015.
Society X, yeah.
2015.
Okay.
And but he came in, we did our thing, and he was just like I said. It took a while for me to warm up to him, but once I started warming up to him,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, me and this kid click. Like he's
Right.
He's a big dude. He's somebody that you want on your side.
Yeah.
So you know, from then on, you know, he's been my partner in multiple incarnations, man. So
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I know what it's like to click with somebody. I don't know if you guys know Sonny Goodspeed, the wrestler.
Yes.
Yeah, but me and him have like this chemistry. It's unbelievable, dude. We can pretty much do any type of show, do anything, and it's just,
No, he's a good
it's like
dude.
natural, you know? All right, here's a couple more. What are some of your career highlights? If you want to go separately or together, you know, either or.
Some of my career
Or
highlights.
both.
Honestly, it's gonna go. One of my favorite matches is my last man standing match I had with Jamie Tucker. We just went into that match. We had good chemistry against each other.
Right.
This is before we teamed with each other with the brand. He sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I'm so
That's all
sorry.
right. Don't worry about it.
I am
Don't worry
so
about
sorry.
it. That's what-
Sorry, the match. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We had a last man standing match. That was at RCW.
Yeah.
And we beat each other up so bad, none of us could stand.
Right.
Neither one of us could stand. Another one of my career matches that I liked was when I faced David Baker.
Oh, yes. The mean Baker brother.
that was brutal.
Right? Because
Yeah.
Devin's the nice one.
Yeah, we'll say that. Devin's the nice one.
Well, everybody else says it.
I love David.
Devin's the nice one, but I love
David's
I
probably
love
gonna
David.
smack me next time he sees me.
David is what brought out that fire in me that I wanted to, be more fierce in.
Right.
And the fact that he's a bigger guy, that's what I need to be like.
Right.
And he helped me a lot. There were some things that I called in the match, and he's like, "Brother, you serious?" And I'm like, "Okay, maybe not." And he helped me out, work everything around. He
Yeah.
taught me a lot in that match just from having one match together, and we tore the house down. in
Nice.
that
I mean,
match.
he learned from one of the best anyways, man.
Definitely did. I mean,
Honestly.
in his father's brick house. So, I
That's
mean,
well, that's what I
on.
mean. He learned from his dad.
yeah.
So,
And if I had to say two more matches, one more is when I won the RICW Universal title, which is our heavyweight title.
okay.
That was a banger.
I defeated Hunter Kane in a street fight. I can't remember now. It
yeah.
was a street fight.
Nice.
And that was my first win for any heavyweight title.
Nice.
And I'll never forget the ovation of all of the fans and wrestlers that came around the ring just to clap the ring and do that. And another one of my favorite matches was my last match before I had came back to join the brand was with Chris Dozer.
Okay.
And we went toe to toe. It was a career versus title. He had the title.
Right.
And that match was honestly a big moment for me because it was the first time my dad was involved in one of my matches.
Oh, cool.
While I was active and while he still could.
Yeah.
Because he had some little troubles,
Yeah.
But while he was still able to move around, we were, able to get him in to do something quick with us,
Cool.
which meant a lot.
Yeah.
And I know Dozer was so happy about doing it too.
Right. That's awesome. What about you?
For me, I mean, I had it wasn't really a great match, but it was definitely a career highlight up in Canada. I wrestled this kid, Kyle Nicholson. He's starting to get big up there in Quebec now. But that was awesome just because of the point of me making it into another country. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Wrestling in another
definitely.
country. Another match would be probably when we won the Supernova Wrestling Gemini Championships. We won those in a triple threat match against Southern Discomfort and the Fractured, which is Madness Trip and Brian York.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those guys, all amazing talents, awesome. It was a cool match, and just being able to win tag titles with him was a highlight alone.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if I were to say another match, one more match would be probably the Society X debut with TJ Swift at Dropkicks and Drumsticks, RSW, where we faced Jamie Tucker and Jason Medeiros, just because it was a different atmosphere. They had bands playing in between matches.
Oh, yeah. I went to a Beyond show like that. It was kind of cool.
So I mean, those are all career highlights. There's tons of matches that I enjoy, man.
Right.
Tons of matches. I'd be here for days.
Now, who did you work for in Canada?
It was Supernova Wrestling, but it was also Torture. What is it? Torture Chamber Academy. I hope I'm not getting the name wrong, but it was for
think so.
Geronix.
Oh, okay.
Geronix.
Awesome.
But they did a collaboration up in Montreal, and it was really an experience, just being there,
Right.
going into Canada. And having to learn a little bit of French to be able to understand what was going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
He knows he was there.
I was just happy that they had a McDonald's with snack wraps.
Double. Hey,
I couldn't wrestle in Canada. I went for the trip, but that was my highlight.
Right.
Was the
They
snack
got
wraps.
a double Big Mac up in Canada.
Oh, you can get a double Big
double
Mac?
Big Mac.
Wow. I like a good Big Mac once in a while. All right. So listen now, Matt McGee's got one more question. It's not a question, actually. OCW is always on the lookout for the great tag teams. So, Freight Train, reach out.
That's it.
The brand.
Social media is the way to go these days, huh?
Absolutely. And he knows that. All right. Sean Vadalaro, a member of the South Coast Sign Crew.
Oh.
Do you have a combined or separate list of dream opponents from any promotion or time period? Meaning any promotion, any time period, anybody.
I'm gonna say I thought this one in the car, and I know you're gonna.
All right.
So this is far fetched. I don't think we. It's not that I don't think. I know we cannot stand toe to toe with these guys. However, Motor City Machine Guns.
Ah, yeah.
Ever
team,
since
man.
I was a kid watching them and like seeing Shelly and Sabin just being in their separates in 05.
Right. Yeah.
Just before they even made anything even
Right.
close together. It was, I don't know, I've been a fan since. And I don't know, seeing the Jack Sabin in 05 was
They're a hell of a
menacing.
tag team, man.
Hell
They really are. I was psyched when the WWE signed them. Because I was thinking that the time had passed to be signed by the WWE. I mean, they got in there at the right time because they still got a lot to offer.
I was so scared. I was like, me and him have been wanting them to go at the highest.
Right.
And no matter how you look at it, that's the top. You know what I mean?
It is.
No matter where you view it, that's
Yep.
the top.
Yep.
And I'm just so happy to see them make it there.
Yeah.
I want to see them go to Raw.
Right.
I don't know.
I'm sure they will. I mean, I'm sure they're not around just for a year. And
No,
you know how
I hope
they
not.
like to swap things up and stuff. So, but I mean, their matches with DIY were
Yes,
pretty
yeah.
damn good the first few matches.
Oh yeah.
So, and Tommaso's local boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I
You know what I
used to
mean?
see him a lot with my father back then.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Your dad went to wrestle a lot with you?
My father wrestled for Top Promotions. He wrestled for Yankee Pro Wrestling. He goes back. Yeah, he started at Yankee Pro in '92, and obviously, and there was South Coast, but I don't think he ever wrestled for South Coast Championship. Which it was the same. It was like that Raw SmackDown. thing.
Right. Yes, wasn't that? Didn't Joe have both? Was running both companies, right? He was running both companies.
That's why I'm like, that's like that Raw and SmackDown. But that was like, it was cool to me because I'm like, yo, I got my own Raw and SmackDown in Fall River.
Right.
This is great.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny because like, my dad brought me in there, and I got to see a lot of like big guys. And
Right.
people who are no longer here with us too. Like
Yeah.
one person that I got to meet, and I'm so grateful that I met him before he passed, was Rowdy. Rowdy Piper.
Okay, yeah.
We had done ring crew for NEW.
Yeah.
Because I believe they used to rent out a ring from Ricard back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. And we used to do ring crew, and I remember the promoter was like, "Since you helped out, kid, you can go and get one from everybody." And I was like, "Okay, 16 years old doing the ring, I'll go get an autograph from everybody."
That's
And
awesome.
they all took a picture. I remember Rowdy was so nice, so nice. And another one that was
One of
really
my favorites, man.
He's so good. The meanest dude, but you see him behind the scenes. He's such a sweetheart.
Right.
And another one that was so nice, and like, TV makes you look taller, but she's so short. Mickey James.
Oh yeah, no, I met
met
Mickey
her-
James at the Ring of Honor shows that I used to
She's
cater.
another sweetheart.
She's so short.
I remember back in the day we were taking the Polaroids.
Yeah.
And she took one with me, and she wrote like this thing. "Thank you for helping out with ring crew. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have the ring." And I'm like over the moon right now.
Right. Big Daddy Bravo.
Yeah. Or back in the day.
I'm surprised I didn't catch on like when we
Yeah.
had. I swear, oh my God.
Well, maybe I should have said Big Daddy Kahuna.
Wow.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. So like I grew up with Brick House and Gino and Scott Ashford, like feeling like my uncles.
Right.
And Redemption as well.
Do you remember Bobby Morin, the wrestler from Rhode Island that was killed by his son?
The name sounds very familiar.
His son killed his father, mother, and little sister in the car. Just went up and shot him all. Yeah, Bobby Moran. He was, matter of fact, I got a magazine, New Wave Wrestling. He was in the magazine in an interview. And then, like, 2 months later, I heard that he was killed by his son. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, Bobby Moran was his name, and he was pretty talented.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up now.
All right, let's get back into this. Matthew Dufresne's question for both. To win the Rumble for RICW No Limit on June 14th, and why is it Matt Deadwood? Can I ask, is Matthew Dufresne's Matt Deadwood?
Man.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, it's an ongoing thing because the last couple episodes, everybody's been asking questions about themselves. Thanks for the question, Matthew.
I'm guilty.
I mean, if he can go in there and outlast everybody else, then I guess he can win it, right?
Right? You guys gonna throw him out first?
Yeah.
Partner's gonna have to do it. I have prior engagement.
Oh.
Partner's gonna have to do
Oh
it.
yeah, you're gonna have to dump him out
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. All right, second question. Where did the name The Brand come from?
Oh man. Oh geez. You know,
I joined and it was already there.
Right? Yeah, right?
when me and Jamie had first formed it, we were trying to spitball names and we were just coming up with nothing. And we were like, what are we gonna call ourselves? What are we gonna call ourselves? And obviously, like, you know, the thing originated from RSW and our, you know, we were sitting there like, well, you know, we are the physical embodiment of this promotion. We're the blood, sweat, and tears of this promotion. We built this company on our backs. We are the brand. We are the brand of RSW. So he was like, Jamie turned around and was like, that's it. you
Yeah.
know? And we went with the brand.
Yeah.
And it's funny because our first logo was actually a spoof on the RSW logo. Mm-hmm. And from then on, you know, like some of our promos, we take the company's logos, we'll spin it around, make it our logo, and we'll do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Our latest logo looks like a brand.
Right.
You know, so from there, we represent every single company that we step foot into, and we try to make it a better place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Than when we first stepped in.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. As a matter of fact, the Four Horsemen came off a promo. Remember, Arn Anderson just threw it out there, and then I think someone said to him afterwards, "I think you just named your group." And he's like, "What do you mean? What do you?" How?
Some of the best things just happen organically and accidentally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like when Sheamus and Claudio got together.
Oh, yeah.
It was an accident, but no one thought it was gonna. I remember that first
They
match
were
they
a
got
great
together.
tag team. So underrated, man.
I remember
honestly.
that first match of them together. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they're just throwing them together and seeing what happens. But like, then months go by and it's like, wow,
The chemistry they
so
had
good.
was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
And I guess the chemistry came from them working out. Like,
Yeah.
because they started, like, no, but
believe
Sheamus always was working out with Triple H, and
And
then,
the YouTube show he was
yeah,
doing. His
then
thing, yep.
Sheamus came on it, and they just clicked, man.
Yep.
It's amazing. I miss Cesaro, man. I really do. I'm not a big AEW guy. I'm really not, you know. But you like it? No, wait, you're not or you are?
I'm gonna drink this real quick.
I'm indifferent. There's certain things that I like, and then there's certain things that I'm like,
No,
you know.
I respect them. I could never stand. I could never get in there with them. Oh, I don't know. Do this. I'm lost.
No, I hear you. Or you know, if you can go in there and get hit by a bunch of super kicks that won't knock anybody unconscious, because that's what they do. Sorry, guys, I get off on a tangent. I'm not a Young Bucks fan.
You're not wrong.
Not
You're not
like
wrong.
I'm not a fan of those guys at all. All right, Han Wonder,
Oh boy.
trainee number one. If you guys could pick one moment from your wrestling careers to go back in time and tell the little versions of Chaz and LDB, what would it be? Names?
All right, I'll do mine
Yeah,
first.
you do yours first.
I've been thinking about this one since I saw that
good,
question on social
good.
media. When I start, so we know that my father's Big Daddy Kahuna. So when I was about 15 and almost 16, Ricard had let me come in to train. Since I was helping him out, he
Right.
was doing me a solid.
Yep.
And being a young dumb kid, I was taking it for granted. Because I will admit, I had an ego at a very young age, and I hated it. in looking back on it now,
Right.
I 100% hate what, I had,
Become.
what I was doing at the time. You know what I mean? Acting the way I was acting when I wasn't, anything.
Right.
So he let me come train at the lockup. And at the time, Ryan Waters was training me.
Yep.
Another mentor of mine in my beginning when I was learning.
Great guy. He was here a couple weeks ago.
Amazing guy. One of my favorite technical wrestlers that is in New England.
Tells me everything that I should do on my show and that I don't do. He yells at me.
He's so smart and intellectual, man.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. I remember we were going over elbow drops, and I was doing them wrong, but I came in a bad mood. And he didn't deserve the way I was acting. He was telling me to redo it because I was doing it wrong. And I'm like, what was I doing wrong? But in wrestling, we don't speak back.
Right. Right.
And I was 100% wrong. And we made up a couple years after that.
Good.
Just because I was too, no, I wouldn't say proud, but I was too much like, oh, I can't go there. Why should I go there? Da, da, da. It was like a pride thing for me where like I just couldn't face him again. And, it was eating me up and up and up and up. And then we apologized and he goes, listen, we all get into, scuffles with people.
Right.
Like he goes, the other day I just got into a fight with Vinny, Marseglia,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And he's like, we got over it. It happens. And I'm like, I understand. I'm like, I'm so sorry that I did what I did.
Right.
It was, so what happened was we were doing elbow drops and I was doing them wrong and he's like, do it again. And I talked back. When I talked back, he goes, if you're going to talk back and you have an attitude, you can just leave.
Right.
And he's not wrong for that. And like a little child, I took my ball and I went home and I didn't come back for a couple years. And I had taken it out on Ricard. I took it out on Ryan, and they didn't deserve it. Yeah. And they were trying to help me. Looking back on it now, yeah, they definitely did try to help me, 100%. They did everything they could, and I dropped the ball on that, 100%. And on air, I do still want to say that I'm sorry. We're all on good terms, but it's just something that eats me away.
It takes a big man to apologize, and that really does.
Yeah.
Mine would just be a little bit of advice and just, tell my younger self, hey, when the opportunities arise, don't be afraid to take them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Earlier in my career, I was always very timid as to doing things. And, had I taken those extra steps and gone and drove across the country and done the things that I could do when I was younger, I'd probably be a lot further as far as like working.
No, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We got a question from Dave Delafontaine. You know Dave?
Yes, sir.
Dave's a good guy. I love Dave, man. What's one goal for the brand that you would like to see accomplished for the year 2025? And he's got a follow-up question after, too.
I think some tag belts would definitely be...
New tag belts from other promotions, and definitely some new talent, some new tag teams to face.
Well, don't forget, Freight Train. Gonna book them.
Social media.
I was gonna say social media.
Social media.
All right. Dave's follow-up question. Did you answer it?
What?
The question, one goal? Okay.
I think it was, if you, did you have a different one? Or no?
No, that's the same.
Okay, cool. All right, what are some of your locker room pet peeves?
I have two.
All right.
Two. You can't pick up after yourself. What do you mean? You drop your wrist tape here and then you... Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Now it's going to stay there until what?
Right. Till the janitor cleans it. And I'm a janitor.
No, that's so disrespectful. My father was a custodian. Yeah. I understand. It's disrespectful.
Right.
The second thing, wash your gear.
Right. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Omar's gonna be old.
I can imagine. They say Vader's was the worst.
Listen, I'm a big guy. All right. And big guy sweat
yes, they do.
Stinky. And I'll tell you, after the ladder match, my singlet was stinky.
But
it
you
went
washed
right into the
your
shower.
gear.
It goes right into the laundry. It's not hard. You put it in the laundry, you put cold water, and you throw a thing in there. That's it. How hard is that?
Right.
You don't have that? That's okay. Not everybody has that. You have a tub.
There you go. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
All right. Did you? You said you
I had
both?
two. Those are my two.
I think I just have one really.
Yeah.
And it's if I'm gonna break the fourth wall now, but it's when guys come back and high five each other over a really crappy match. And it's like, man, what are you doing?
Right.
Like a pat on the back. Yeah, that was great.
I was gonna say, how do you guys feel about people that don't belong in the locker room in the locker room? Do you know? No,
I mean,
I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
I don't think random kids belong in the locker room.
No, I don't either.
Some
No,
people
definitely
come in
not
as fans,
kids.
right?
No.
People that aren't related to the
So because I grew up in that, my father used to bring me, but the reason I went was because, I'm the wrestler's son, but I helped.
Right.
There was a difference.
Oh,
I did
of
things.
course.
And I don't know. It's one thing where like, and it makes the adults uncomfortable because they don't want to change around the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I keep the kids and keep whoever's not a worker out of the back.
Yeah, because I mean, I've had people tell me, "Oh, you could go." I'm like, "No, I'm not a wrestler. I don't want to go in the no, but I don't want to go in the locker room." The only time I ever went in the locker room was when Krista Casanova, Carmelo Hayes came back for a show at APW and asked me, he wanted to talk to me about what I had for food because I was doing the concessions. You know what I mean?
It's different when you're invited.
Right. But that's the only time I ever went in. Every other time, like Ryan would say, "Oh, you go back."
Yeah.
No, I'm not going back because I'd be with Sonny. And Sonny going, "No, I'm not. I'm sorry." And Ryan, I didn't pay at one show, and I felt weird. Yep. I'm sitting there, and Ryan's like, "What's the matter with you?" I said, "I didn't pay." Ryan's like, "Don't worry about it. Keep your money."
So he's an amazing dude.
He is a good guy. He is. All right. Chris Sanders, Coach C.
I love Chris.
Who is absolutely killing it with this Best for Bit. He really is, man. It's incredible.
So
and he's a young kid, too.
I
Smart.
think we saw it coming from the
Did
minute
you really,
we saw it.
He started coming around with his dad really young, back at the chop shop, and we knew like how invested he was in the business. We knew that he was.
He was very passionate.
Right.
At, what, 14 we met him?
Oh, dude.
And he was
Probably
so
about that
passionate.
younger.
Yeah.
A little younger.
And he was, because he was drawing pictures for everybody. Yeah, I still have more too.
Really? Does that work, too? Kid's talented.
Yeah, he was so cool.
He drew every wrestler in the chop shop and put them up. Like we plastered the walls with
Right. That's cool, man. Now listen, I've never met him personally, but I've talked with him online. He's a great kid, doing great things.
He's gonna go far.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
He's what? Not even 20. So I mean,
is he really? He's under
young.
20 years old.
Yeah,
he's 20 at the most, right?
Yeah, he just got out of high school.
Wow, that's amazing, man. All right, who's the man? That's what he says first. What does the future hold for you guys? Thank you for everything.
Oh, God. No, well, first, I'm gonna say thank you. Because honestly, I needed you to coach me back in the day. It meant a lot to me because if I didn't have you coach me then, I don't think I would have ever had you coach me because you were already moving on past what I was doing, and it's wonderful to see. I mean, I guess what the future holds is we just got to see how it goes day by day and what companies want us to come, wreck their company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but remember, you gotta leave it better. You leave it better.
Listen, people don't like us, but that's okay. We don't have to be liked all the time, so it's all right.
Absolutely. No, you definitely don't. So, same. You feel the same on his answer on that?
Yeah, man. I agree. Like we pretty much got the same brain, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Nick Jacobson. You guys know Nick?
I know.
Nick's a good fan. Nice kid.
I know Nick, I think, from a long time ago, yeah.
It honors me to see these guys proud. What made you want to get into wrestling?
Oh, man. You go first, because you were kind of like born in.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So my dad started in '92. I believe his original name was just Big Daddy.
Okay.
And I think because he was just a big guy, and I believe the reason he got that name was because I think they just called him Big Daddy because he was the biggest dude. And I think that was like the nickname of the 90s was Big Daddy.
Right.
Big Daddy. So they called him that. And then I believe someone said, he's like, you look Samoan, Hawaiian. Maybe you're like the Big Kahuna. And he goes, Big Daddy Kahuna. And he used to come out as Hawaiian. It was so good. He used to come out with those cheap plastic lays.
Yeah, the lays. Yeah, throwing them out to the crowd.
I used to wear those every day at home. I'd get a different color every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, he started in '92. I was born in '94. So I would assume I was at my first show at like a month old.
You and AJP, like, grew up in the business. You
Yeah.
and AJP.
Yep.
You know, unreal.
Yeah, it's cool. I like seeing that because like AJ's going so far.
He's doing well.
So far.
He really is doing well.
Another one that's gonna go, not gonna go, is far beyond me. And another one I see on the come up is Cash Kodo.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Cash.
Yep.
And he just, I just can't wait to see Cash's son just go.
Nice.
How I got started, so I mean, I was born in the business.
Yeah.
You know, once I came up to 15, 16, Ricard had let me train. Before that, they gave me a bunch of knowledge on how to put rings together.
Right.
Whether it be a ring that had, it was a 4-sided ring that had 8 frame attachments to it, or there was an easier ring that had just the 4 frames.
Okay.
And then they had like, you know, there was different ways to put the boards, rearrange them, make sure they fit a certain way. Putting the ribs on, putting everything on. And then there was one time he gave me the biggest challenge was no one was able to go to the show to help set up. We were setting up like a couple days before.
Right.
No one was able to show up, so he had asked me if they had dropped off the truck and I had unloaded and started helping set up the ring.
Right.
And honestly, it helped me learn so much because I was able to put a ring together on my own without really asking for much help.
Right.
And I could take it down. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yep.
Top Rope gave me so much knowledge and I just couldn't thank them anymore.
Awesome.
For me, it's a little different. Honestly, I didn't even want to be a wrestler when I was younger. I watched it. I started watching WCW, WWF
Right.
back in the day during the Attitude Era, during the Monday Night Wars. But I didn't ever really want to be a wrestler until after, like way after my teenage years. And I wanted to be a stuntman.
Yeah.
So
A couple of wrestlers I stuck.
I just learned something.
because a lot of people didn't realize that. I mean, a lot of people might realize that I look familiar, like I look like Bam Margera.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
From
You
Jackasses
definitely do.
from KY.
You definitely do.
Take away the mustache and a little bit
Take
of
away
the
the
beard.
mustache, a little bit of
No,
beard,
you
yeah.
definitely do, though. You do.
Let's wait from the alcohol and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to be a stuntman, and me and my friends were doing all kinds of stunts and stuff, jumping off of roofs and doing all kinds of dumb stuff. And one day, a buddy of mine goes, "Hey, you ever watched this backyard wrestling stuff?" And to me, I didn't know there was anything other than HWA on public access, or NEWA or RIWA on public access. And
HW, is that Joe Bruin's promotion?
Heartland and Wrestling Association.
Oh, okay. Oh, Heartland. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
The old developmental for
Right,
WWE. But I didn't know there was anything more than that. And so my buddy shows me this backyard wrestling video, and I'm like, these kids are stupid. Like, that's the first thing I thought, you know? But this is right up our alley. Like, we're going to do this.
Right.
So we were like, oh, yeah, let's do a skit where we're doing a backyard wrestling match. So we got light tubes, all kinds of stupid things, you know?
Yeah,
And,
that's beyond me.
Yeah, and we ended up doing it. And then at that point, I was like, I don't want to do the stunt stuff anymore. I want to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm having too much fun doing this. So we started doing it every single weekend. And then from that point on, I was like, you know, you grow up, you get older, you're like, you know, we're all getting out of college. We're doing this while we're young. So we all stopped. And then I ended up getting a message on, I think at the time it was MySpace, not even Facebook. And a guy had seen one of our highlight videos, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to come and try out in the ring?" And I'm like, this is weird. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but I was like, maybe, you know, I'm leading him on. And then the day came, because he gave me a date, and I went, and I never stopped. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I came up with, like, I learned from guys like Mike Montero, you know, Mike Grossa, all those guys that came up with those guys.
Right.
You know, so I'm learning from them. I'm learning from Dozer. I'm learning from all these other people. You know, I didn't go the traditional route of going to a wrestling school, but I learned from my peers.
Right.
I learned what not to do. You know.
Who was the person that hit you up?
I can't say his name because I hate his guts, honestly. So.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not.
I guarantee I already know who it is, but I won't say it either. We'll talk off here.
Yeah, he's
got a
not
bad
someone
rep.
that deserves his name to be, you know, publicized.
But if, you know, as much as I regret going that route,
Right.
I was poor, didn't have money for a wrestling school, so I went that route, and I did the cheaper way up, and I learned from people like, you know, Brickhouse Baker and stuff like that. So Chris Cruz was a big influence.
Right.
You know, all these guys that were around me, and I would say from 2009, that's when I debuted. I would say probably a little while after that, probably like 2012, 2013 is when I actually started becoming, an actual good wrestler. When I started learning how to do things. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is, man. It went from stuntman to wanting to be a wrestler real quick.
Well, there's two wrestlers that are stuntmen. They have a pretty good life right now. Kevin Matthews, who also works for AEW. But Luke Hawx.
Yeah,
There's another one. Lots of stunt work, but he gets a lot of acting jobs too, Luke Hawx. Yeah.
He was on Heels. He was on Heels.
Yeah,
And he was in the Wrestler. I think he was in the Wrestler.
Yeah.
Really?
He was also on Young Rock. He played Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Young Rock.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch that.
Can I tell you something? That kid's talented. Do you remember the first time you guys ever saw him? Altar Boy Luke. Kid was about 108 pounds, man. Seriously. Look at the size of him now.
I first caught him on what was it, Wrestling Society?
Society X, yeah.
And I was
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Some of this
But
is
I
like
saw him at
a format.
XPW before that, just by videotapes. I didn't know the guy, I'm like, look at this guy. He's like 108 pounds, flipping around, getting the crap kicked out of him. And look at him now, though. I mean, Luke Hawx is one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. He may not be on TV, but he could be.
Yeah.
He'd probably be on that list. Like Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's
cool.
good, man. I like Luke. I'm a huge Luke Hawx fan because of how he's changed from, like I said, 108-pound kid. I don't know if you guys know Deranged from Ring of Honor, Special K group. First time I saw him, he was very small, and he walked to the ring. And I was like, what's he going to do? And I've told him this. By the time he left the ring, I couldn't wait to get home to find more stuff about him. Yeah. He blew me away. Like I said, when he walked to the ring, I was like, so what's he going to do? Oh, he showed me what he was going to do.
I feel terrible because, like, it's not that these guys are huge.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm just so off of, like, just everything that he's like telling me names of people, and I'm like, who? And it's like, and I don't mean it like in any disrespect.
No, right.
It's just, he goes, oh, this guy from here. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm just stuck in my ways of just watching WWE. And it's like, I've been breaking out of it like, I've been watching a lot of really old TNA because I love old TNA.
Oh, yeah.
Love
Yeah,
old
well,
TNA.
when they first started, it was that weekly pay-per-view. It was like $4.99 or something every single week, every Wednesday night, I think. Because I bought a whole bunch from them.
When they were doing that NWA thing.
Yeah, they were using a lot of the ROH guys. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Early AJ Styles, man.
Oh, man, unreal.
That first, my favorite TNA match is that first triple threat with Styles, Joe, and Daniels.
Yeah.
CD.
Oh my God, that is the #1 triple threat match in the world in my eyes.
You guys got to be jealous when I tell you this. I catered for Tommy Dreamer's, I think it was his 5th show. And AJ Styles was on the card, and I got a picture of my grandson and AJ holding the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Whoa.
You could tell AJ definitely didn't want to do the picture, but he did it anyway.
Yeah.
You could tell, like, he was, he was all beat up. He was, but he took the picture for me.
Cool,
wow. And to hold that title.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. I told my grandson, I said, you have no idea. That's the second most prestigious title in all
and
of
that's
wrestling.
on the other side of the world, my friend.
I couldn't believe it, man. When I seen him coming, and I'm like,
that gives me goosebumps.
He was
just
way
hearing
over
that.
there. My grandson named Chaz. I'm Chaz, come here. Grab him. Get over here. He's coming.
You're taking this picture because I want it.
Exactly. Swear to God, it's true.
Yeah.
All right. Nick has one more. Who inspires you and why?
Oh, you go first.
So my biggest inspiration, I'll say I have 2.
Yeah.
I'll do the famous one. My biggest inspiration to do wrestling was Christian.
Oh, wow.
My favorite wrestler is Stone Cold.
Yeah.
But Christian was so good.
He was.
At what he did.
He's still good. He's something on AEW that I don't mind watching.
Yes. And when he joined AEW, I was like, right. I'm like, and that I loved his Evanescence song that he used to come out to, and that's my favorite. That and the other one he had for WWE, with the girls singing it. That was my other favorite theme that he had. But yeah, he was one of my favorites. He was so good technically, and he was like me, like When he first started, he didn't know. Well, actually, right before he started, he didn't know if he wanted to do it.
Right.
Until Edge was already there. And
Right,
Edge was
right,
like, Come on. And he
No,
goes,
they got
okay.
they got the training from
And
Ron Hutchinson. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I feel like it started for me because Jamie was like, dude, come on. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Don't let him fool you. It's still that way. I still got kind
You know what? Just listen. You know what's
Sometimes.
awesome about Christian though? Remember, he tried to put himself in the Hall of Fame. Do you remember that when Edge goes, "Hey, you're trying to put yourself in the Hall of Fame."
He's like, it's the only way.
That was awesome.
But
okay.
my bigger inspiration to do it was my father.
Right.
You know
Definitely,
what I mean?
I hear you.
I had to live. I had to at least try to live up to his legacy.
Right.
You know.
That's awesome.
I got many, but honestly, I think the one that sticks out is going to be pretty much like everybody else, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's the one that got me in
Yeah.
wanting to do all that crazy stuff,
Yeah.
and then once I realized I couldn't do all that crazy stuff, then
You found somebody else.
then I found somebody else. But like AJ Styles, AJ Styles was a big inspiration.
AJ Styles,
no
man,
flips.
Big inspiration.
he's incredible,
Yeah.
though. And I think he's going to be wrapping it up soon.
yeah.
That's what I've been
AJ,
hearing, you know.
I actually got the privilege of meeting him once.
Did you really? He's a wicked cool guy,
So,
man. I'll tell you that. He is.
Jose Perez actually hit me up back in 2015.
Yeah.
And he, I felt honored because he let me come on to XWA to do for Resolution 15. Yeah, in 2015, Resolution 15, we did a battle royal to start the show before the main show started.
Nice.
And it's cool because like I like to tell my friends that when we watch WWE and Carmelo Hayes goes up, I'm like, hey, that guy was in the Rumble I was in.
Nice. Isn't that awesome? Hey, he was sitting right there, too. For me, I had my old producer, right? He couldn't come do the show, man. So I got him to open up on a Sunday. And him and Trigger came up and did the show. They were part of Killing Over. Yeah. And then the next day, right, my regular show day, I had Royce Bishop, the third member of Killing.
Whoa.
So I had all of Killing Over in 2 days.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. And God, Carmelo's a great guy, man.
He's a good guy.
He's
one of the ones
incredible.
that deserve it.
You know, this is how good of a guy he is, honestly. He came that night to that show at APW, and I'm doing the hot dogs, and my girlfriend says, hey, someone wants to see you. I turn, she's like, who? She goes, he's hiding behind the wall. So I come up, and he pops his head. He goes, hey, I had to at least come and say hi. I knew you were here.
See,
right? So I said to my girlfriend, I said, you don't know who that is? She goes, no. I said, I fucking show you him every week on television. Oh, I threw her under the bus, man, and ran her over hard.
See, that's the thing I like about him. He remembers people.
He's a great
no
guy,
matter,
man.
he's such a humble guy, and he just remembers anybody and everybody.
Yeah, yeah. And he wants to remember everybody, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's got a good heart.
He really does.
He's a good-hearted kid.
Yeah.
He really, really is. Guys, let's talk a little about, how about any injuries? I think you had already brought one up, though.
Yeah. So I've gotten into those where like I've gotten hurt for like a couple days,
Yeah.
a couple weeks, blah blah blah, a month. But there was what was it, March of 2023?
It was May of 2023.
No, March. It was cold. March.
It's cold.
It was March, and
It was an M word.
we did win a match with these two guys, and I'm not going to mention his name so I can say what he
Okay.
did because I don't want to ruin
Yeah,
him.
yeah. No, that's cool.
He went to go do a move to me, but didn't tell me what the move was. And I already knew what he was going for. He was trying to go for a German, and
Right.
he was a smaller guy than me. You're not hitting me with that German.
Right, right,
So I planted my feet, and I
Yeah.
said no.
right.
I think he thought I said go. And I tried to sandbag, and
Yeah.
he brought me all strength.
I've never seen him fold up like an accordion before.
And
Right,
it's not like I took the bump in the middle of the ring. This was
Right.
on the end of the ring next to his partner. And I'm like,
Wow.
so at that time, it felt wonky, but I didn't, I tried elbowing him, but he moved, he did all that. And I was fine. We did the match, we finished it. It was great. I went to go get my gear bag and I go to bend over and I'm like, oh, something doesn't feel right. And it just felt like a warm sensation just go all the way up. Wow. So I was uncomfortable. I remember going to Smoky Bones right after that. And
used to
they
love that
Oh, I
place,
love
man.
that place.
Me too.
We won't say what happened.
They have that. Shut up. They have that. They have that. Those wooden benches.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting there, and usually I'm always comfortable, but the whole time I'm like this, and I'm like, dude, I'm hurting. Like I just can't stay still.
Right.
So whatever. I think we.
Because it's not abnormal to sit there and be like, oh, my lower lumbar is bothering
Oh,
me.
yeah, of course. I mean, you're wrestlers.
So I'm like, maybe it's just your lower lumbar. Maybe
Right.
it's
Because we still had the year planned.
right.
So I was like, dude, I'm gonna take the next month off, just see what happens. He took care of the rest for that month, and then there was one day I went to work and I went in like this, and I'm like, I couldn't move.
Right.
And my boss had come in, she had told me to leave, and long story short, I got checked, got an MRI, and I had spinal stenosis in the L4 and L5 of my vertebrae. So your spine comes down like this, and you have like those little stems that come out, and then the little balls. So everyone, this is gonna look stupid, but this is the way the doctor told me. So this is that stem, this is the ball that goes around it. Right. Everyone's spine is like this, where it can move around when you bend.
Right.
Mine was like this.
Oh, it was like locked in.
Yeah, and so it hurt a lot.
Wow.
And there was points where I was crying at home.
Right.
Because the pain was just so bad. So after the MRI, the doctor had told me that it just looked like my spine was squished in the x-rays. And I had told him, and I was like, dude, I have to cancel everything for me. Right. And he just took care of the rest. And because we had Canada planned together.
Yeah, we were supposed to work.
Right.
And I never got to wrestle in Canada.
Right, you just went.
And we were going, and that was his first time in Canada. We were going to do it together, but
That's probably something that awaits us in the future. We want to make that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure
I
you
definitely,
guys.
I definitely want to do each continent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear
it's
ya.
a big dream. But yeah,
What about you, Chaz?
Oh, we're one of them on my
Well, yeah.
No, this one wasn't that bad. I broke.
I don't know, man. It's pretty friggin'. It's pretty purple,
It
black
worried
or
me.
it looks like a good shot.
The video I
It
saw,
worried me
dude, it's
last
bad.
night. Did it look
Oh,
bad?
dude, bam.
Oh, dude, I love it. It worries me when fans are going, oh God, and then the referee goes, oh God, and then my opponent goes, oh God.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see a puddle of blood on the floor.
Right.
And then your partner comes up to you saying, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. So
Now, what was the
Usually
blood
I'm the
coming
one
out
that
of your
gets
nose?
Oh, it was just.
Oh, your mouth.
It was just coming out my nose.
Okay,
it was
yeah.
just- it was
Because of
just
the
disgusting.
elbow, right? Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, stuff like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so that it sucks, but it is what it is. I broke my tailbone on an over rotation on a swanton one time, and I got somebody botched the power bomb and dropped me on my neck. They got me halfway up, couldn't lift me all the way up, and they dropped me. So I landed straight on my head. So those are probably like the worst.
Wow. Yeah, that had to have hurt though.
Yeah, I was out.
I bet.
I was out.
All right. How about craziest thing you've seen in a locker room?
Oh man, TJ.
Only reason why I asked is you laughed when I brought it up to you.
You try. Oh, you want? I guess so.
right.
Days.
Easiest thing.
Guys changing with nothing, just walking around, letting it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of indie guys do that.
Put your finger.
Well, back not in today. Back in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah. It's just locker room.
That's
is
what
just,
my dad used to be like, "Hey, everyone's getting killed."
But that's why you don't bring people backstage. Stuff
Right,
like that happens
right.
sometimes.
Right.
Man, dude, I've seen anything between people doing substances backstage to just crazy stuff. I got some of the things I can't say. I'll just leave it at that. You think?
Yeah, that's probably the God, man, the crazy thing.
The substance is more than anything, but like,
Right.
Oh God. You would think I'd have something after all this time. And it's like
we haven't been in enough locker
It's like
That's all right.
Or maybe I'm too scared to save the real ones.
Well, I don't want to say something.
yeah.
And I also don't want to get other people.
Yeah.
No, I hear.
I'm not trying to get
Sorry, guys. I don't want to get you guys.
blacklisted than I already am.
Yeah, and I don't want to get you guys
Trust
in
me when I
trouble.
say some of the stuff I've seen is just not suitable for
It's
Right, for television.
yeah. It's stuff that they still think is still good because it happened in the 90s and 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
It don't happen like that no more.
All right. Do you guys ever see anybody shoot on anybody? Like,
I mean,
you don't have to say the names either. You know what I mean? I'm just, you could.
I'll be honest. I've had to, but that's.
Yeah, I
You've
mean,
had to shoot on someone?
If
Okay.
the person just can't do the business, then okay, you can go out there thinking that's what we're gonna do. If the promoter and the person that tells me this is what we're gonna do, and you're like, no, we're doing this for me. I'm doing the business for myself.
Yeah. No.
Okay, we'll go out there. We'll do it your way.
Yeah.
And then you shoot
Shoot on
someone.
them. Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Go into business for yourself.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
We're pretty nice guys backstage, and like we try to work with everybody, and like
Yeah.
we've had some times where either we're in a tag or we're singles competitors, and we've had people try and do that stuff to us, and he don't mess around. I don't mess around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So I mean,
You're professionals.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
My dad instilled it in me.
Right,
to
of course.
Keep your mouth shut, keep
Yeah.
your head down,
Yeah.
be respectful.
Right.
Shake hands. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Respect everybody, right?
Yep. And there's times where he's pretty much like my it's like a comfort thing. So if we go to a show, there's somebody there.
Right.
So but there's times where we have to separate. And that professionalism that my dad instilled in me helps me when I'm on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it must be seeing how he does things too. I mean, obviously you're your own man, but I mean, you must feed off each other though too.
we
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
do. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm kind of like we're like moral compasses for each other, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's got more of a short fuse than I do.
Okay. I would have
I
thought it would
try
have. I'm just by looking at you, I would have thought it was the other way around.
It takes a lot for me to get.
Certain things.
I'm serious.
There's certain things where it takes him a little longer.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm already pissed.
Yeah. Right.
But then there's the other way where he's the calm one.
Right.
I mean, I'm the calm one and he's the pissed
Yeah.
one. But don't piss me off.
All right, listen, we get under 2 minutes, right? We're gonna play the quickest name game ever, right? How about I brought him up before? I think we went on there. Yusuf.
That's a big boy.
Yusuf.
He's a big boy.
That's a big, strong boy.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude. I know he's got his critics, but he's a good dude.
Cool.
Yeah, I like him.
All right, awesome. All right, Danger Boy Alfredo. Isn't that Coach
man.
C's dad, right?
I used to watch him when I was younger. Not Danger Boy, Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
But Danger Boy, man, I used to watch him on TV when I was younger. So
Both of them.
awesome guy.
Yeah.
Wolverine too. Wolverine.
Yeah.
I love that they have all their stuff all the places they worked on, on their varsity jackets.
Yeah, that is really cool. I
love
like
that
that.
Roars War logo that they have.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
The mint.
How about Shay Cash?
Shay Cash. I've had some good wars with him back in Whaling City Wrestling with him. That was when I joined Whaling City. I was with Scott Ashworth, and he
nice.
helped me with some tag team stuff, and it was us against heavy hitters, and
Him and Frank.
I love
That's
Shay.
a hell of a
And
tag team.
Frank is so good too.
Hell of a tag team.
Shay and I have butted heads in time or two.
That's
but
all right.
I think he's a good guy.
All right, cool. All right, how about last one? The Monarchy. Ariel and BMT.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Who are killing
good
it
to see that.
everywhere, guys.
They are. So I've noticed that BMT has been running trainings for NRG.
Yep.
And I need to make it to one of those.
Definitely. Get
Because
down there.
Seeing what he is doing is amazing.
He is
Awesome, my
amazing.
book.
He's amazing. Guys, plug something. You got time.
RCW, June 14th in Chepachet, Rhode Island. Check it out. Come check it out. Tickets are on sale now on Facebook. That's
All right. Guys, thanks for coming on. Listen,
you.
we can do this again. We barely played the name game.
Yeah.
Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.